that is Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. Normally, I give the phone number out. Normally, I give the fax number out, but not tonight.
Normally, you're here.
That's right. It is the best of.
That's right.
Drew, you are silky smooth, buddy.
Well, what do you expect me to be different on tape?
And looking good. All right, Drew, what do we got planned for tonight?
Sean Lennon.
And Sean, a very friendly, gregarious guy, by the way, who appears to have a pretty solid sense of humor.
For those of you who know what the word gregarious means.
And it's none of our listeners. Drew's looking it up, for Christ's sake. Now, I know you're tired about questions about your dad, questions about your family, but I don't want to get into all that crap. But what I do want to get into is just the order of things, and then we'll move on to talk about records and that sort of stuff. Like, for instance, I remember Julian Lennon came out with a CD, I think his first one. I'm trying to think of what construction job I was working on. But that must have been like 84 or something, 85?
You've got the hands of a construction worker.
Yeah, look at it. I got a big lump where my palm should be, and I got a big lump where my knuckle is, and you should smell my hand. It smells like many men have been working a long time on it. Now, when did Julian come out with that record?
1984.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, I know the job I was on. Now,
so that was a trick question? You were just testing me?
No, I didn't know.
You're toying with me.
I am not.
I'm not your plaything.
I know, Drew's my plaything.
Indeed I am.
He's my gay thing, too. Now, is Julian Yoko and John's son?
No.
You're Yoko and John's son.
That's correct.
Julian is John and his first wife's son.
Yes.
Right, okay. And doesn't...
I'm glad I could clear this up for you because I really enjoy fact-checking about Beatle trivia. That's, in fact, the thing I love to do most.
I know this.
If you have any other trivial questions about the Lennon family or the McCartneys, in fact, just ask me.
I know this is the most boring thing in the world to you, but I always just think of myself as at least as dumb as our listeners.
Yeah.
And I think, okay, everybody knows who John Lennon is. Everyone knows who Yoko Ono is. A lot of people know Julian Lennon is. A lot of people know Sean Lennon is. But I'm not sure if they got all the facts, the lineage, and the order worked out.
Together,
right. Now, how old are you now?
I'm 22.
22, all right. And how old's Julian?
He's 33.
Right.
I'm not sure about that, though.
Isn't it amazing how much like John and Yoko Sean looks? I mean, is it just like you put them both in a Cuisinart and poured it into a big
the
tumbler?
Whole, like, genetic thing.
No,
well, you know about this.
Yeah, it's shocking that you put half the genes from one parent and the other half from the other, and you get somebody that looks like both parents.
Listen, I swear to God, I'll throw both you out of here on your condescending asses.
But he does look like somebody just took a computer program and morphed the faces together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a big compliment. Sometimes when my girlfriend and I are having dinner, she'll say that to me just to kind of romance me up. To get me in the mood for having sex. She'll say, you look like a computer composite of your parents.
It's true.
Now take your clothes off.
I know you're making fun of us, but it's true. Wait, I want to talk about the record.
Oh, yes, that's right.
I'm sorry.
I know you laugh, but if you take a look at my two homely parents, I look zero like them. Drew, you haven't seen my parents, have you?
No.
No. I'm going to let them out of their cage and bring them over here for you to view them. I'll keep them on a short leash, but we'll speak to Michelle.
Hi.
Hey, you're 33.
Yes, I am.
What's going on?
Well, first I have to say I love your show, and I love both you, Dr. Drew, and Adam. You guys are great, and I have to say one thing before I ask my question. Dr. Drew, you are largely responsible for my husband finally quitting marijuana.
Oh, good. Wow.
Finally talked him into it. I made him listen to your show a couple nights.
He did it without treatment?
Without treatment.
He's on the heroin now, but yeah.
No.
Be careful.
He's off the weed.
But thank God he's...
Thank God he's
How
off
long has
the
he been
weed?
off, Michelle?
He's been off for over a year now.
Great. Let me just point out for other people that are thinking about stopping on their own. There's a lot of depression that comes on after people try stopping pot, and people will either sort of struggle with that. And there's been some suicides. I've unfortunately seen a few cases
like
recently. No.
Well, it wasn't the guy who came off the weed. It was the guy at the park who sold it to him, who took his own life.
No. There is actually an extraordinary incidence of suicidal depression the first 6 months of marijuana abstinence, and
what's extraordinary?
like I would say 60-70% of the time people become suicidal. It is the routine to have suicidal ideation, extreme depressive symptoms. And people will often either escalate alcohol or switch to speed at that point because that will correct those symptoms, and they don't really utilize the usual things.
Well, lucky for me, he's allergic to alcohol, so...
Great. But it's great that he's done it and that he's off. And
yeah, he's been off for over a year now, and I don't expect him to be going back. I think things in his life are looking up way too much for him to even think about that.
Right.
Besides, it became an ultimatum in our life. You know, you can't do this anymore. There's too many bad consequences that come along with it, and we have children, and it's just...
Great.
You know,
how long have you been married?
Excuse me?
How long have you been married?
We have been married for a year. We've been together for 7.
And you have how many kids?
I have 1 from a previous marriage, and we have 2 together.
Okay.
And very committed. Anyway, my question is, I have quite the extensive sexual background, and my husband doesn't. I was quite promiscuous in my younger days. And I've expressed to him over the course of our marriage the types of things that I would like. I've kind of grown out of that crazy stage that I went through younger, and I think he's kind of focusing more on I think he thinks that I'm more interested in the kinky stuff because he's heard some of my previous escapades. And I'm trying to get him past this, kinky stuff. It's like I'm trying to tell him, I've kind of grown out of that.
Yeah.
We've been together for a long time. I'd really rather just it be, you and me expressing our, love for each other.
You've grown up. But what kinky stuff is he pulling?
Nothing really out of the ordinary.
There's a little bit of pushing going on.
Excuse me?
Michelle, I'll tell you, it's in horrible taste to tell your man all. You know what it's like? It's like when I've never been to Europe. I've never been anywhere, and people say, "Oh, you've never been to the south of France? Oh, the wine country? Oh, the Athens? Oh, Greece? Oh, it's been." I go, I went down to Burbank, Glendale area once. They have a pretty cool Home Depot down there. Oh, you've never been to Italy.
It was 89 in Van Nuys tonight.
And this relates to what you're talking about, Michelle. Don't worry.
It does, because it's painful to sit around and hear about how beautiful and how experienced and how worldly you are, and this guy's never leaving.
And never going to participate in that.
He's never going to participate. Not only is he not going to participate in that with you, but he's not going to do it with anyone else either.
Right. Well, he has participated in it with me. It's just that, I don't mind doing those things, but I don't want that to be the bulk of our sexual experience.
Does he need
together.
this stuff to function sexually?
No.
Okay.
No, absolutely
and
not.
He's just compensating a little because a man has an ego, and he heard that you've been around the block, and he'd just like to take you around the block himself. That's all.
Have you expressed this?
Did you tell him
this clearly to him? Right.
I think I've been pretty clear. I'm not the beat around the bush kind of person.
And it keeps going on despite you asking him to stop?
I don't know if it's just. I think it's more of like a block. I think he has.
Can you give us an example of what he does?
Well, I have expressed to him very clearly that I would rather that our sex be more passionate and be more about being more intimate with each other.
She means more foreplay.
Well, more loving, less...
No, that's not the problem.
No, she means more intimate.
More
Okay.
romantic,
more
less
intimate. I want it to be
spanky.
more about the feelings and how we feel for each other,
Right.
more so than the actual act and what we're doing.
And what does he want to do?
And he starts out going in that direction, and everything winds up being so mechanical, and then he wants to get into doing things that I used to do in my past.
Like what?
Like anal sex, which he's never tried, and I've done a few times. It's not my favorite thing in the world to do.
All right. Hey, listen. I'm gonna settle all this because there's really nothing we can tell her. Here's the deal. Every time he wants to try something like anal sex, tell him his penis is too damn wide.
First take a banana and stick it in his ass, and then see what he says.
No, see, guys, the reverse logic makes sense, but it never works on guys.
You know what this is?
But it's not a bad angle.
This is his expression of aggression at her having been so active before. I mean, he's preoccupied with the anal sex act, and that is sort of an aggressive thing. She's picking up on that. She wants to feel the intimacy.
It must also turn him on to hear about her doing all this
No,
stuff.
it makes him feel aggressive. Makes him feel angry.
It turns him on at first, but then he gets angry later.
I think
But look at it this way. The last penis in your wife's ass was not yours. Think about that concept for a second. There's a lot of you guys out there. You know what I'm saying?
Adam, thank you for putting that in such delicate terms.
The last penis that was in your wife's ass, even if it was 10 years ago, is working at a Shell station in Pennsylvania.
So saith Adam Carolla.
I'm just saying.
July 27th. Thank you.
Thank you. Please be seated, my children. Here, touch the hem of my garment. Go ahead. Smell the garment. Okay, so, hey, that's going to be the name of my next album. Smell the garment. All right. Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Women, don't tell your guys about all the weird crap you got into before you met them.
Oh, I would never do that.
All right, Brad.
So how's it going tonight?
Good.
Brad, stop take care of your nicotine habit.
Yeah, I can't quit that. I gave up drinking 31 months ago. But
Very
good for you.
perceptive.
But I'll tell you something. You're doing 2 packs a day, aren't you? Plus.
Probably. Well, it depends on how stressful the day is, but at least a pack and a half.
I mean, you've got 30 pack years under your belt to have all that going on. So really, I can just hear it in your voice. So please, I make an awful lot about about alcohol and other drugs, but in terms of your health and your survivability, there is really nothing worse than nicotine. So.
Do you have kids, Brad?
Actually, I have a daughter, 17. I've never seen her.
You realize, well, even if you've never seen her, you smoking that pack and a half a day is like her smoking a carton of unfiltered every day. Is that true, Drew? Even if you've never seen your child?
I hear about it on the radio.
Yes, secondhand smoke. Very dangerous.
She's not around. I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You smoke, your child smokes. I don't care if you gave her up for adoption
Even if she's
at birth.
in Thailand.
Absolutely.
You guys ready?
Yeah, go ahead. Brad, yes. Oh, she
does. All right. Well, see, there you go.
Secondhand's much worse.
Secondhand's worse. Smoking's not bad. You're fine, Brad.
I gotta give it up though.
Yeah, you do.
To live longer. But anyways, I wanted to tell you why I was calling. I was in this relationship with this lady, and I lived with her up until August of last year. So what's going on now is she's finding out it's real tough. She actually had to go out and get a job, and she's been calling me, and I've been helping her out with stuff.
But you skipped a bunch of... Yeah, I appreciate the attempt to make this a concise story, but you were living with her for how long?
2 years.
Why did you break up?
Well, I think it's because things weren't convenient anymore. Things got tough. I got laid off my job. I bought a house just before I got laid off, so we had to move back into the house and go back to her house, and it just,
so this
wasn't going her way.
This wasn't going either of your way, right?
Right.
So the stresses put upon the relationship from your life ultimately caused the relationship to collapse.
Yeah.
Okay. But you guys kind of cared about each other, right, all the way through.
Oh, sure.
Did it break a messy breakup? Did you fight, or really physically get into it or anything?
Not really. I think it was just time for me to just, get out of there and go get my own space for a while.
But how was the breakup? Was it nasty?
Well, we had some verbal disputes, yeah.
Okay. How long ago was the breakup?
It'll be a year next month.
Did you hock a phlegm ball at her, Brad?
But what's the problem? I'm sorry. I didn't
He said he's still paying her bills.
I'm still. She calls me up and she'll say, you know what? She just started this job cleaning houses, and she doesn't. It's not like a regular paycheck every week. Some weeks you get more than others, but
right.
She calls up and says, you know what? I got to have $100 for my electricity. Is going to get a shut off.
Okay, hang on, hold on. Is she using alcohol? Or is she sober, or what's going on?
No, she's not using alcohol. No.
Was she an addict at all?
Pardon me?
Was she an alcoholic or addict at all any time in her life?
Well, she had a tendency to drink, but she hasn't been for quite a while.
Okay.
No Gary Busey.
Wait, how did you get from wanting to borrow money to being a drug addict?
Well, because I'm trying to assess their relationship. Here's the deal.
Hold on a second.
I'm about to tell
Drew can get to drug addict, and he could get the Pope would start crying and admitting he's chasing the dragon if Drew spoke to him for more than 5 minutes. I guarantee you can get this out of anybody. I guarantee that.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I was wondering.
Brad?
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering why, now that your guys' lives have sort of stabilized, as yours has, why do you get back together? I mean, it sounds like you care about her and that she's...
I do. I mean, I've got some... things are going pretty good for me. I've got some real good job interviews coming up. I'm working.
I mean, there are clearly some weaknesses.
What are you, a machinist, Brad?
No, I'm an outside sales rep.
You sell the outdoors?
Yeah.
Hey, see that tree over there? Yeah, that could be yours.
No, I'm real good at it.
And we're running a specialist month on the flora and fauna.
Yeah, right.
Obviously the relationship has some weaknesses, and that's what caused it to come apart in the face of stress. But it sounds like you guys are sort of drifting back together instead of drifting apart, and maybe there's something there. I don't know. I mean,
I'm done.
They like each other, and they care about each other.
Listen, Brad's going to be dead in 3 months.
I feel like in any case, lending money between intimate people, whether they're friends or lovers, can be an iffy situation.
Well, this is what they're... See,
yes.
Brad's an alcoholic, she's a codependent, and so they have some enmeshments in their relationship. But he's trying to be sober, he's 40. I mean, maybe it'd work. I don't know. He's going to find another codependent if it's not her.
I was really impressed how you diagnosed his smoking over the airwaves.
Oh, the place, the guy sounded like Marge Schott. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but we're in the presence of an expert here. I'm sorry, he could have...
Oh, he doesn't know anything. Believe me.
He could have slept with an air conditioner or something.
I'm out of his plaything.
You know,
No.
he could have had, you know, some kind of.
Thank you, Sean. You can talk directly to me. Pentay's not here. It's all right. It's all right.
No. Believe Drew will impress you before the night's over, but that was nothing.
Okay.
You understand?
Right.
That's like Houdini pulling a scarf out from under his sleeve,
I'll be
and you're
really
going,
impressed
ooh.
when he breaks the bricks
With my
his
head.
hand.
No, my forehead.
Oh, yeah. He'll do it, but he
Not
won't.
the big head.
Cinder block.
He will not use his hand. Drew,
Yeah.
I want to sell a call, but not the one that you've chosen.
Yeah. Why
That
don't
doesn't
you,
look like much to me.
Oh, here we go.
Sean, you can pick a call if you like.
Come over here.
Number 4?
Here.
Yeah, you don't have to move.
I love this part.
Ronnie,
Yo.
you're 20.
Hello, guys.
Discovered
Love the
15. Thanks. Discovered your 15-year-old bro is watching porn on the internet.
16, and it's not your typical porn. It involves like animals and stuff.
All right, that's good. That's perfect. Hang on. All right, now see, that's the kind of thing people will stay around for. All right, Sean and I are going to go urinate.
And me.
And,
each other.
I'm
all
gonna
right.
raise you to the bathroom.
All right, we'll do the Three Musketeers with the urine swords, and we'll be back. Hey there, kiddies. It's Loveline. Sean Lennon is here. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Into the Sun is the name of the CD. It's on
Must-have
yeah.
album of the summer.
It's on the Grand Royal label, which is the Beastie Boys label. And how'd you get hooked up with them, or how'd they get hooked up with you?
Well, we were kind of hanging out in New York, and Adam Yauch used to kind of come to my house, and well, actually a rehearsal.
Is your
studio
girlfriend the one
jam.
that
Yeah,
inspired
that's her.
you?
You're the only one who knew that.
Let me see
Everybody
that.
always picks the other picture.
Which one?
There's another girl in there, and that's Miho. That's later.
Yeah, she's...
Anyway, it's
yeah.
fascinating, but Adam Yauch asked me to release a record. It's really that simple.
And this just popped into my head, but does anyone, they're always
Go with
talking
it.
about, doing some kind of Beatles reunion or something.
That's number one on my list of things not to do.
You don't want to do that. Not interested.
Did you draw these?
Yes, I did all the artwork for my album.
Wow. It's got, it's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, the album.
But I mean, why talk
this
about
is
the album
nice.
when we could talk about the Beatles reunion?
Well, I know you're not going to do it. I'd do it.
Well, they're waiting
That
with
says it
open
all right
arms
there.
for you.
But let me ask
And
you
I know
this.
Paul, and he really wanted me to ask you if you would join the Beatles.
Well, he's been trying to get on the show for some months now. We've been giving him the
desperately.
shift. Let me ask you this. Ringo would do it in a heartbeat because he's a whore, right? I mean, he'd do it.
Are you trying to instigate some kind of controversy here?
Ringo's along for the ride.
I have
He'd
nothing
do it,
bad
right?
to say about any of the Beatles. Okay.
How many? I'm trying to
Including
think of.
Eddie Murphy.
Did you spend much time with the other Beatles? I mean, was it like Uncle Paul?
Dude, you're doing this to me. You're just asking me all these Beatles questions.
He doesn't want to talk about it.
On the air.
I know, but you got to.
You're embarrassing me.
I know, but you got to
My
understand.
friends are listening, man.
Listen, I don't want to
You
ask.
want them to think I'm just some fringe celebrity exploiting the name of my heritage.
I know, but Sean, I'm going to be deadly honest with you here.
Oh, no.
we had last night. We had the South Park guys in here, right? And somebody said to me, "Hey, how come you didn't ask them to talk like the South Park characters? Because people listening really want to hear that."
Yeah.
And I know they get asked on every show, and they think whoever asked them is a dick.
Yeah.
Yet there's a million stoned teenagers sitting in their bedrooms listening to the show who really want to hear Trey talk.
Well, obviously you haven't listened to this show enough, or else they would have stopped smoking.
Right. Well, I'm just...
Smokey!
Hypothetically.
Oh, yeah, I just saw my friend, I'm sorry.
All right, shut that door, Drew. Sean's
sorry.
being distracted. The point is I don't want to ask him to do the voice, but it's sort of like my job.
Yeah, you're obliged.
Hello, this is Eric Cartman, and this is Kyle Broslowski from South Park.
Oh, my God, this guy's
There,
quick.
There you go. So that's my point. So when I have Sean Lennon on the show, I don't really want to talk to him about John Lennon, but
Well,
it's
you're
like
really
I feel like I
noble.
kind of
You're
have to
doing
bring
it for
up.
posterity, right?
No, you know what I mean?
For
I
the
have to
good
do
of
my
all.
job.
All right, well, let's get down to it.
All right, let's forget about it. Let's take some calls.
Okay.
You want to do that?
I was ready, man. I was ready to give you the whole history, man. Starting from day one. In the cavern, you were playing, Brian Epstein walked in and said...
All right, here we go. Let's go to call.
All right. Ronnie,
Hi.
you're 20.
He's got the brother.
Well, Sean, you got to do the Beatles reunion.
See that?
Just wanted to say that.
Just doing my job. See that?
But
And you've got to insert a dildo in your ass.
Ooh, that's good.
So, Ronnie, what's the deal?
well, anyway, I found some sort of weird pornography on my brother's hard drive.
Yeah?
It was animal stuff.
What?
Well, just, I didn't really
You
look
know
that
more
good,
than
but
that.
he had, like, movies and, still photos.
Of what?
Well, just with, like, I think
What do you
horses.
think, Drew?
You're like, give us some
Don't
more
make me say
details.
People with animals.
Descriptive adjectives.
No,
please.
a monkey was blowing a llama. Of course it's people with animals.
Do you think that he's doing this just to freak his friends out, or do you think it's because he's really
He
into
sort of, well, I don't know. He doesn't have that many friends. I mean, at least those, they wouldn't come over and, look at stuff on his computer.
All right, let me make this statement. There's plenty of normal teenager who would do this just because it's bizarre and different. Now the question is
he into it?
Does this guy carve on
That's
his
what I'm worried
forearms?
about. And do I confront him? Because
Well, what else up with your brother? That's Adam's question. I think it's the appropriate question. I mean, has he been abused? Has he cut
smart.
him?
No, I mean,
our zoophiliacs that we've talked to have been quite smart.
They're
about that.
geniuses.
Yeah, they tend to be geniuses, but I don't know that that's the statistics, but that's been our experience. That's been our experience. They tend to be very smart.
We've only talked to one, but he was smart.
We talked. You remember he had a whole network that he dealt with, and they were all computer nerds together.
Yeah.
But the question is, otherwise, does he have friends? Does he wear black? And is he really antisocial?
Does he wear black? Come on.
I mean,
is he into the cure? Because that's a sure sign of having sex with pigs.
No,
he loves Robert Smith, but I mean, he's pretty standard or average,
He's average. You have friends, hangs out with people, socializes.
A few friends. I wouldn't call him the most social.
How old is he?
person in the world, but-
16. Does he have girlfriends?
All right, listen. Who cares? You know why? Because I don't want to try to get this.
But
the
do I
second.
confront him? The trust thing, or certainly I don't tell my parents.
Ronnie, what are you doing? Going to junior college?
No.
Why are you living at home? Going to
It's
school?
the summertime. I'm just, working and,
All right.
I would
money.
keep. You don't necessarily need to confront him on this yet,
I
but
know
you
what
need
you
to
do.
keep a very careful eye on his social development.
I know what to do. You print up one of the pictures on his printer, you leave it there, print it up, and you don't say anything. And when he next goes to the computer, he'll see that someone saw it, and he'll put two and two together. And if it's something that he feels like weird about, he'll talk to you about it. And if not, then you can take it further.
What if that just breeds some sort of hatred and he slips deeper into his animal abyss?
Well, it's because my suspicion is he's not really into animals. It's just some kind of freaky thing to do on the computer.
I totally agree. And when you're 15 years old, you go for the freakiest thing you can find and the most bizarre thing you can
and
find.
what's the probability that he really gets off on this stuff? I mean, does anybody really? I mean,
Yes.
But I mean,
We've-
mathematically speaking, like, what are the
you're right. The probability
statistics
is
here?
You're right.
They're very low, right?
Right. The probability is, unless he is otherwise
I
impaired.
mean, I used to watch public access in New York when I was growing up, and I never saw animals, but I saw some other stuff that was really intense, like this hermaphrodite named Leslie.
Mm-hmm. Leslie?
Les. Actually,
Oh,
Les,
Les.
you're right. And she had a constructed penis that was made out of fat from, like, the back of one of her thighs.
Uh-huh.
And it was really bizarre. But it's not like it turned me on, but I definitely watched it. You know what I mean? It was the kind of thing as a 13, 14-year-old that I could not change the channel on.
Would you then become... Was she circumcised? Or it?
No, it was a she became a he.
Was it circumcised?
It was a
Transsexual.
hollow,
Transsexual.
fatty tissue that had been kind of transplanted onto her clitoris. And they showed this on public access. But, whatever. It's the kind of thing that you watch and you tell your friends about the next day, and a lot of them are like, I saw that too.
Yeah, and I think there's that sort of morbid curiosity that you have at 15 that you hopefully get over at a certain part of life, or you just see enough bizarre sexually oriented stuff to just get your fill. Sarah?
Hello?
You're 15.
Yes, I am, and no, I'm not into that bizarre stuff. Okay. Just get that out of the way.
All right, Punchy.
Well, my parents went through are going in the middle of a very nasty divorce because he was very emotionally and mentally abusive to her, and he was physically abusive to me. We left in the middle of the night, and we got out of the situation. I went through counseling, and I mean, I've really settled. My life is calm down. Every time we have to drop my 2 little sisters off, which are 3 and 6.
Oh.
So we have to see him every other weekend.
Huh.
And so
The court has decided this?
what?
The court has decided this?
We have not gone to court yet. But my
Why
mom,
do you have to drop the young children off with this abuser?
he's never really been
Sarah?
that way to the little ones at
Well,
all.
It's just a matter of time. Isn't
I know,
it? Was he
and-
like that?
but-
to
He's
you?
just
But the
waiting for
court-
them to ripen.
Yeah.
What our lawyer advised us to just go ahead and let him see him for now.
Why
Because
not
we're going to be going to the court. We're going to be going to court in a few months.
Don't you
What
think
did
those should be
what did he do?
supervised?
All right,
Those
shut
should
up,
be
Drew.
supervised
But just
visits.
quiet down now. What did he do to you?
He would hit me any chance he got, anytime I was there, pretty much. One time he kicked me in the stomach so hard that I threw up.
How old were you when that started?
I was 14. I mean,
So he
this
didn't
was
start
just in
with-
the last year, and basically as soon as I started leaving home more,
Yeah.
and I started I was into drama and debate with my school,
He freaked out.
and he freaked out. He started getting really weird. He went into this deep depression. He's an alcoholic now.
Yeah.
He drinks a lot, but
This is your
I don't
your
want-
biological father.
my biological father, as much as I wish he wasn't.
Hold on, let me make a quick observation here without Sarah talking back. Isn't it amazing how Sarah's 15? She sounds like she's 35. Isn't it amazing how fast kids grow up when they're around a guy's kicking them in the stomach and drinking? I mean, she's 15 years old. For Christ's sake, most girls are picking out nail polish and picking out guys they have crushes on in the 9th or 10th grade. She sounds like she was like a nurse in Korea.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think like you should say that before he sees any of the kids, that he should be required to see therapy and recover from alcohol and everything.
Oh my
Well,
God.
that should be like a prerequisite for seeing the kids. Like,
Absolutely.
if you stop drinking, stay sober, and go seek therapy.
Yep.
And
But the problem is
then maybe
she's
you can see the kids. How
She's
about that?
15 and she doesn't even have her learner's permit yet. How's she going to lay the law
No,
down?
The mom can
the
say
mom,
this.
and then he seems to be supervised even then for quite some time.
Because
But until then, don't
God
bring
only
the kids
knows.
there.
I mean, bring her back up here. But God only knows he didn't begin abusing her until his alcoholism took off, and now he's into his disease, way into his disease, and you're dropping off little children with him.
And not
gotta stop doing that.
only that, and we're not blaming Sarah because Sarah's just as much a victim as anybody else. But the thing is if and when he does something to these kids, it's going to last a hell of a lot longer than whenever the bruises or wounds heal. You know what I mean? If he does something horrible to one of these 5 or 6 year olds, they are going to be screwed up the rest of their lives.
And the little one, we went ahead and put her into counseling for now, so that if anything happens, that will come out with her counselor, and we will stop all visits once something.
No,
as soon
kids
as
don't
something
talk.
happens-
Kids don't divulge that stuff.
As soon as something happens,
I'm
because-
Sarah. I
Yeah,
swear to
as
God.
soon as
You
she
shouldn't grab him off
do
until
not
he promises to recover from his alcohol.
wait for her to grab for the
I'm not-
penis on the
I'm not gonna-
Would you?
The thing I was asking,
When do you stop talking?
Whatever you do, for Christ's sake. Why do what I have to
shut
say
up.
not important and
Oh,
yours
God
is?
damn it! You've been on the air
Damn
for
it, you're-
15 years. You
Well,
don't
what
learn. You
about
haven't learned
me?
anything.
What's bizarre is he steps
talks
on
more
me.
than
Right, he steps on me. It doesn't matter. I step on him. It's a federal offense.
Okay, true. Well, you're a roach. You need to be stepped on.
me?
No.
Sarah, look, can I apologize on behalf of the station for these two guys here?
Okay.
I just want to say I care
So what
about
do you
you,
wanna
and
say
I'm
now?
really sorry about all this, and you should definitely tell your mom that you're afraid of letting the two kids get dropped off there.
I've told her that, and the thing is, every time she sees him, she gets really, really depressed. That weekend, we can barely just. We drop them off on Saturday. When we pick them up, we drop them off on Friday. Then until about Saturday night, she's completely
Your mom?
crying. Yeah, she'll be crying.
That's not
laying
nearly
there.
as important as what the issue is as it pertains to these kids.
And I
Okay?
don't.
Listen.
I want to help
Listen,
her.
you tell your attorney that maybe you ought to consult with a clinician before they make decisions that affect the well-being of these children for the rest of their lives.
But it's hard
That's
when
what
your
I
mom
say.
is
It's
saying, like,
attorney-
no, this is what I want to do, and she's only 15,
The attorney has some responsibility here, and that should be he should be getting some input if he doesn't know how to make these kinds of decisions.
And look at it this way: Mommy chose to start a rather sizable family
with this guy.
So Mommy's judgment, Mommy's compass isn't facing true north. You know what I'm saying? God knows what what she had done to her that she would choose a guy like this to begin a family with.
And then run in the middle of the night.
Right. All right. So, what the hell was I saying? Listen, I swear to God, I sit home and watch the news all night long and, drive-by shootings and nutballs going into the State House and trying to shoot guards at the metal detector and everything. And everyone wants to talk about metal detectors and gun control and more prisons and family values. I swear to God, the problem is everyone stop having kids. Believe me, you can't take care of them, don't have them. That's it. That's it. That is the only way we're going to heal this great land of ours. And you're talking, they're interviewing the parents of the guy who went off his meds and went into what was it? He went into the
Capitol building
and shot everyone up. They're talking to his dad, and his dad's like, I said to him, son, where are you heading with that .22 rifle? And he said he was heading out to shoot some cats, so I just laughed. I thought he was, and then he went back.
He said that he kicked him out of the house.
All right, but it was after he shot the third. He saw him heading out with the rifle, said he was going to shoot some cats. The dad laughed it off and thought he was kidding, then came back and had shot 13 cats, 2 of them being the dad's favorite, and then the dad kicked him out. But the dad was also missing, like, his .38 handgun. And the thing is at what point do we hold the parents responsible? Which is, look, your son has had bouts with a psychiatric illness. He's not on his medications. He has access to firearms. He just shot up a goddamn kennel, and now we're just going to, arrivederci, we're just going to set you loose, baby. Go ahead. You got no meds. Here's the gun. Go hit the road, and don't come back.
I agree.
Go to a nice crowded urban center and freak out.
Well, what about the kids that shot the 13 and 12-year-old that shot on that opened fire on their
school?
Shot
his parents.
Well, that was a different one. I mean, the one before, where it was actually the grandfather that had given the 4-year-old a rifle, and there's the picture of the 4-year-old. It's like, giving 4-year-olds guns?
Oh, yeah.
What good does that do us?
No, but guns don't kill people. You see, people kill people. Please. Yeah. That's the most retarded logic I've ever heard. Hey, here's another logic. Hey, Tomahawk missiles don't kill people. Scud missiles don't kill. Bombs don't kill people.
It's the people that push the button.
That's right. Yeah, of course. Then after they push the button, that's when the city's wiped out.
I would love to see a data on how many of these people that are given guns are physically abused by the same people that give them their guns.
Yeah, and here's my point. I just want those people to be responsible. That's all.
Yeah.
That's it.
Accountable. Yeah.
Your son...
It's hard because they can't even be responsible for themselves, a lot of these people.
Well,
I mean,
too
you
bad.
just see his...
I know, but your son is off his meds, and he's hitting you kick him out of the house. Yeah, please. The ironic thing is he should be staying there and killing you and your cats. All right. We'll go to break. I got to wipe the sweat off my brow. It's naturally it's a pizza oven here.
No, it's not. It's like below 20 in here.
It's so hot in here.
Really? All right, listen. I don't know what you got. What do you got? Antifreeze coursing through your brains? Your veins.
Withdrawing from
brains will work
marijuana.
too. All right, we'll be back. It's the best of Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That's Dr. Drew. You're you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Drew.
Yeah.
Let's trudge on. What do we got coming up next?
Coming up next is Chris Kattan.
From Saturday Night Live?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tina.
Yes, hi.
You're 23. You're on with Chris Kattan.
Yeah, I'm on a... this kind of question for Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
I'm on a cocktail mixture on hormones.
What hormones?
I'm on Premarin, and I'm on 1.25 milligrams a day.
Uh-huh.
I'm on medroxyprogesterone, and I'm on 30 milligrams that a day. And I'm on spirolactone, 300 milligrams, which is like the anti-testosterone.
That's to get rid of your hair.
Well, it doesn't really
you're a
get rid of
male.
your hair.
You're a male.
Right.
What are you doing?
She's a man?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I'm not actually a male.
You're XY.
There you go. Well, no. I mean, I don't consider myself a male at all.
But you are XY, period. That's what you were born as, XY.
Right.
Okay.
I was born biologically as
XY.
male.
Okay, gotcha. And you're taking hormones. Are you supervised, or this sort of black market stuff?
No, this is totally supervised.
Okay.
Hold on, Drew. Explain what Premarin is, just for kicks, because I know what it is.
Is that like primrose?
No, it's conjugated. It's an estrogen. It's a very potent estrogen.
Yeah, where's the name derived from?
It was derived from mares. It was from horse urine.
Pregnant mare's urine.
Premarin.
Premarin.
That is attractive.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's best to abbreviate. Because someone goes in, we got 30 cc's of pregnant mare urine. But 30 cc's of Premarin. Oh, all right, put me down for that.
It's a good medicine. But, what's the plan, Tina? What are they doing?
Well, okay, I've got a lot of friends that are in the community that I talk to, and we all keep communicating. And
other transsexuals.
Exactly. And
listen to that voice. It's just so startling.
They should call her Tom.
What? It's working though.
Yeah, it's just that's what's startling is how much
good.
how a female.
Did your voice change because of the cocktails?
No, the vocal cords are thickened, and you can't unthicken them without an operation. I mean, it's complete like workout. Because I work on the phones 8 hours a day for a software company, so you really train yourself because you don't want to hear people say, "Well, thank you, sir." So you really work on it.
All right, so Tina, what are you going to have the operation?
Eventually.
How long?
$10,000.
How much?
$10,000.
Put me down for 5.
I can go there and hold your hand.
That'd be good.
I'll hold something, but it's not going to be your hand. I want that penis.
Why would you do that?
For my collection. Mike, please. That hurt.
So, Tina, why are you calling? What's up?
Crazy cutlery.
A lot of my friends are starting at like a higher dosage. Like for Premarin, they're starting at 5 milligrams.
Wow.
And they're a little bit older.
Yeah.
And I guess the way the doctors explained it was that, well, your liver will be destroyed and there's no long-term effects. You don't have any studies on long-term effects.
Of high doses of estrogen. That's right. You get hepatomas and all kinds of stuff.
But they're still starting at like 5, and I've been on them for a year, and I'm still at 1.25.
Do you want to go higher? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, I don't think I'm having positive results.
Well, certainly 2.5, I suppose, would be in range. But listen, you got to talk to the people that are supervising you. I'm not going to begin recommending you to take more hormones. I mean, you're asking for trouble.
How do you look?
Hepatoma.
I don't think I'm really passable. My friends say I am, but you know your friends, they jerk you around, just make you feel better.
Yeah, tell you look like a chick just to be nice.
Exactly.
Say to me.
I got those buddies too.
They tell you they didn't know you didn't have a penis. They'd go out with you, but that's not true.
Let me ask you something about what your plans are after the operation. I've dealt with several patients who did this operation in order to engage in lesbian relationships with women. Are you of that mind?
Yeah, completely.
Help me understand that. That blows my mind.
Well,
why not just have heterosexual relations with women?
Everybody says that.
Yeah, I understand. It's sort of a natural question, so help me understand.
Putting myself in a greater minority.
No, you're not, because every transsexual male I've dealt with in a clinical setting was going to become a lesbian.
I just do not feel compelled towards men at all sexually. It's just not. I can't go past the friendship. Kissing them doesn't seem right.
But you want a woman, but it can't. You have to be as a woman with
every
a woman.
time I've had sex with a woman, every time afterwards, I just threw up.
Well,
do you have any
but you're going to have sex with a woman.
Are you going to have sex with a woman when you're a woman?
Eventually.
Right, but it was just the whole ejaculation, the visual, seeing my penis
inside.
Yeah,
what is the? It was very interesting. Do you have any sense of what the feelings are attached to that, or is it just overwhelming horror and that's it?
It's so overwhelming that I literally throw up.
I mean, theoretically, some people theorize that this is a fear. Well, some people theorize this is a fear of being sort of swallowed up by the woman, that the penis will be taken away. And yet, what an interesting response that is. So, well, then I'll do it myself. I'll just chop it off myself. And then I won't have to lose it to the woman.
Right.
And that's sort of...
But listen, I got a fear of getting my car stolen. Should I just go leave it in an alley, or should I just put an alarm on it?
Well, but this is
you see, I'm putting an alarm on my penis.
But this is all part of that thing that people do of acting out the resurrection and death and castration and restoration. I mean, the people do this over and over again.
Hey, Tina. Tom.
Tony.
Let me ask you this: what the hell went on in your past? Something was done to you. What was it?
Well, I have a pretty messed up past.
Right.
But I consider myself stable. But
no, you hold down a job and all that stuff.
Well, my mom...
Lord knows you're like a mad scientist with these cocktails. You must have a chemistry degree by now. But
well, I grew
what
up
happened?
without a father.
Yeah.
And my mom was schizophrenic paranoia.
Now, okay. And what else?
And she died at 15, when I was 15.
And was there abuse to you sexually?
Not sexually.
But can you see how dealing with a mom that is psychotic would be just horrifying for little kids? Like, mom's going to eat me up. It's going to, who is that? Oh, it's changing, like the mom's sort of an amoeba coming at him. And so we're gonna stop that. We're gonna.
Okay, so here's the question I need to ask then, and it's age old, or at least it's a couple years old for as long as I've been on this show, which is Tina does not want to be a man. I mean, hold on. Tina does not want to be a woman because
look at all the pusses in this back room here. They're all that jaws on the.
She doesn't want to be
pusses.
Tina doesn't want to be a woman because she sincerely wants to be a woman, but she was created by her absent father and her crazy mom and her environment.
Okay.
This environment made her.
Well, with some genetic predisposition. As you know, there has to be that.
There's got to be a sprinkling of that in there. But the point is my contention is that she was created via this horrible childhood she had to loathe her own penis, to loathe men, and to want to go to the extreme of chopping off her own genitalia. So wouldn't you say then that we should get at that problem emotionally and see if we couldn't work on that? Why do we all just stand back and let them run with it?
It depends how you define mental illness, and depends how you define unstable, and it depends whether you believe that you can change stuff like that. I mean, even people that believe that they can change it, I mean, those are the people that would say, yeah, you could change it in 5 days a week of analysis for about 12 years. Yeah, you might change it.
All right. Well, my compromise is you can cut the penis off, but don't throw it out.
That's wise.
Drew, what do they do with the penis when they get rid of it?
Probably burn it.
They burn it?
Yeah.
Right there? Is this some sort of like Santeria type?
And take a magnifying glass and
put an ant on it.
It's a long process.
No, what do they just throw it into some sort of medical incinerator or something?
Stuff comes out of surgical suites that needs to be disposed of.
Surgical suites?
Yeah.
Sweets?
That's what they're called. Surgical arenas.
Is it, no hot tub,
This was like a candy.
So they burn all that stuff?
I think that's mostly.
They don't throw it away? Someone's gallbladder.
Do they do them one at a time, or is there like a stack of them?
I don't know, honestly.
Could you imagine working the pitchfork on like a really busy day?
I'm working all night.
Oh, man.
Check out the load.
Nothing but penises all weekend. Jesus Christ.
Look at this one.
Phil, what's that in your back pocket? Oh, come on. The wife's been bugging me. Please, don't say anything. I'll lose my job.
Nick.
Yeah.
What's up?
Nothing. My nipples, like, they got this hard thing under the skin.
Behind the nipple?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're how old?
You're getting another nipple.
I'm 14.
All right, at 14, it's real typical for males about your age to develop something called gynecomastia, which is an enlargement of the nipple, like you're growing a breast, quite literally. And it's due to the fact that the testosterone production hasn't yet outstripped the estrogen levels, and you produce things from your adrenal glands that get converted to estrogens. And this tends to go away by the time you're 15 to 17. The way it tends to get perpetuated is if you smoke a lot of pot. And I just saw a new way in my office the other day. Androstenedione. These kids, these football players and things, are taking these adrenal hormones that are androgenic, and they're maintaining their gynecomastia from earlier in adolescence.
Wow.
So it's an issue. It shows that this is a non-physiologic event when you take those supplements.
So
how does pot encourage that? How does
raises estrogen levels, lowers testosterone levels further.
So if you see a 17-year-old male wearing a training bra, you either know he's on the juice or on the weed.
Yep.
Either way, you're hauling them in.
Yep.
Very good. Nick?
Yeah?
Yeah. A lot of guys get this. One of my good friends did. I remember he was about 13 or 14. It'll go away.
So it was from the pot?
Oh, you smoke a lot of pot?
I did.
Well, it's that and your age together will create that. And the pot will perpetuate it if you keep smoking pot.
Is it like a sweat gland?
You're growing nipples, just like a woman. You're growing breasts.
Oh, okay.
That's literally what a woman would do.
Have fun with them while you got them.
But you will normally, that will be outstripped by testosterone in short order if you don't keep smoking pot, which would suppress your testosterone levels.
I'd be charging $5 a cop. You know what I mean? Just pull the shirt up at lunch at school.
Have people feel it?
Well, mostly guys, I'd say. It's a handful less because it might get in that line.
But you have to give me a joint.
Well, you really picked a good night to show up, Chris.
Odd. Yeah. Do you have any more breast things?
We may. You like the big breast?
I only like nipple things. That's it for me.
Hey, do you like the...
or ass.
What about the areola, the round part around the nipple?
What
big,
about it?
Small, medium? What do you like? Medium?
Medium.
Just whatever. It should fit the breast?
Yes, it has. Yeah, it has to be.
Adam, would you like to tell us your preference?
You know, like the Pottery Barn kind of breast. The Pottery Barn made breasts.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean?
Something sensible that
like
smells
a
like
Gap
hickory.
breast. Yeah.
Hey, I like the bigger areola. And the reason I think I like that, though, is because it suggests a bigger breast. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean suggest? What is...
I like
the breast is already there to suggest it,
you're either in the presence of one or you're not.
Well, look at it this way, guys. It's like women wear pantsuits that have vertical stripes instead of horizontal stripes. The same amount of material. One of them looks bigger.
I see.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Good point.
Brilliant.
Well, that was solid.
No, you really argued.
I really can defend myself when I'm talking about the breast. All right. Chris
Wait, what
Kattanus
size
here.
of the nipple again?
I like the rounder ones.
That
the
big?
bigger ones.
That's a.
Well, I don't mind.
It's like an old tail or something.
Well, it's the best of Loveline. As per usual, this time we have to take ourselves a little 10-second station identification, and we'll be back with more of the best of Loveline in a scant 10 seconds.
Great.
The waiting room, what a place for our first kiss. Isn't it weird that we both have the same therapist? All my time with you was so precious. I know we'll probably wind up being Mr. and Mrs. I wined and dined you at the Ritz, remember that? I drank so much I got the shits, remember that? I got you that facial and then that massage, what about that? But you never would let me give you a colonic, what was up with that? Whatever. I'm not stalking you, I'm just calling a lot. I'm not trying to upset you, I'm not. Who's this Kevin guy? I think I should know. I didn't give up 3 weeks of my life just to let you go. Oh no, I don't give up that easy. Come on, I think we can work it out, sweetie. For 19 days, we were in love, you bitch. Oh my God, what did I just say? I didn't mean it. But you took your dog and all the booze, and I got Jack. Oh, those Betsy Johnson skirts and Prada shoes, I think I want those back. I took your picture down off my bedroom wall. I have to admit, though, I kept the whole collage up hanging in the hall. You know that collage? That collage that I made of you and the pictures of me. I kind of cut me out and pasted you up on the wall, and I made this whole the love collage. Remember Six Flags with the antenna springy things? Remember, you're so cute. I hate you. No. Oh, I added some new pictures to the collage. See, I took them when you were sleeping. You can check them out if you want. Just go on the internet, girlfriendsleep.com. I get a lot of email about them. I don't think you look fat in any of them. I'm not stalking you, I'm just calling a lot. I'm not trying to freak you out. I'm not. Oh, I saw that Kevin guy. I thought you should know. He seems nice, but it's time for him to go. That's right, he should get out of the picture right quick. In fact, you know what? I think he should probably suck my dick. You heard me. I said he should probably suck my dick. I'm fine alone. Don't worry about me. I said I'm fine! Oh, you don't understand, but I know that you're still mine. We've got the perfect relationship in my head. Just like that one movie, Ted, Bob, Carol, and Alice. Did I say Ted? You know, that movie that you made me watch. That movie, I didn't even understand it. You're like, that's so us. You're Bob and Carol, and I'm Ted and Al. I didn't even know what the we're talking about, but I went along with it because I love you. And oh my God, I can't do it. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm sorry. Hang on. I'm so sorry. I'm not stalking you, I'm just calling a lot. Look, I'm not gonna rape you or anything, okay? I'm not. Oh, where's that Kevin guy? Have they found him yet? You know, they're looking in the totally wrong place. I bet. Oh, I finally got him to suck my dick. In fact, why don't both of you suck my dick?
Hey, it's the best of Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That's Dr. Drew. You're you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Drew.
Yeah.
Let's trudge on. What do we got coming up next?
Now we have Everlast.
Everlast, did you have a solo before House of Pain?
Yeah, I did. Like when I was like 17, I was signed by Ice-T and his Rhyme Syndicate.
And then 3 albums with House of Pain?
Mm-hmm.
And now another solo.
Yes, sir. Whitey
Ford
singing
sings the blues. And we'll hear something from that coming up real soon. First things, actually 2 interesting things. Everlast had himself a heart attack recently and had to have open heart surgery, Drew. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was born with what's called a bicuspid aortic valve.
What is that, Drew?
The aortic valve has 3 leaflets, and in his case, it usually goes like this. In his case, he just has bicuspid, which causes it to narrow as you get older, and you get something called aortic stenosis.
Now, that 50 years ago, would that have killed you? 75.
Yeah, 50 years ago. Eventually, I mean.
It almost killed me 6 months ago, man.
Yeah.
What happened?
You didn't know you had it?
Yeah, I did, but, you know, I mean, like, they were said, you know, my doctor always said, you know, I'd have to watch myself when I got around 50, but I smoked like 2 packs of cigarettes a day, and just, you know, the muscle tore, and they replaced my heart valve with what's this St. Jude's. You probably know.
You on Coumadin now?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. That's hence the Band-Aid on my face because I got a little scratch. It won't stop bleeding.
Oh, blood thinner. Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Oh my God. How do you sleep at night?
It's like a metronome. It's great for music, man. It really
oh
is.
my
I mean,
God!
Not to joke about it, but it is. It's like a rhythm constantly.
Is that a synthetic valve?
Yeah.
That some company makes?
Yeah.
St. Jude?
I don't remember where the name came from, but yeah.
And what's it made out of?
It's metal and plastic, isn't it?
Yeah, I was informed that it was like sort of like ball bearings that are like opening and closing as the blood's being put. It operates under the heart's function itself. You know, it's not like any kind of pacemaker type deal. It's just as the blood is pushed out, it closes. That's the sound. Is the metal kind of.
And they just sew it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! And what's that? Are they going to have to replace that at some point?
No, not necessarily.
No,
that's either this or the pig parts, and I wasn't going for the pig parts, man.
No, because you like a BLT every once in a while, and you couldn't feel good about eating
Actually,
a BLT with a pig part.
I can't stand the whole idea.
How bizarre is that? If you were eating like some bacon and eventually it was working its way through its own valve.
Well, if you've had like heart surgery, I don't think eating bacon is the greatest idea anyway.
Did they have to split your ribs and everything?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's crazy. I
got the
my
zipper,
God! I got all that.
Oh man, look at you. You seem fine.
I feel great, you know. I mean, the surgeon who did it was amazing. My regular doctor, who's a heart specialist, is amazing doctor. He's like a real old school kind of.
Is there anything you can't do? I mean, can you not play snowboard or something?
Yeah, you can't do extreme sports.
Really?
Probably should.
I didn't know that.
Extreme, you shouldn't do it.
Why? Because it could be jostled or just put under too much pressure?
The valve put in?
Oh, yeah, for a while I'm not supposed to do any like chest lifting. February 17th is when it happened.
Now I believe you were in the movie Judgment Night.
Uh-huh.
I worked on that set.
No.
I was one of the bad guys stand-ins.
I think you were my stand-in, dude.
No, I stood in. There were 4 bad guys. Right? There's you, and there's Dennis Leary.
Peter Green, were you standing?
No, not Peter Green. The one other dude.
Michael. His name's Michael something.
The long hair.
Yeah.
The only guy who wasn't wearing a jacket.
Right.
Remember how cold it was?
Yeah.
And to stand there in a T-shirt.
So you were in Chicago then?
I didn't go to Chicago. When you guys came back here to do it, all the stuff in downtown L.A. and all the stuff in the sewer.
Yeah. In the sound set that was right near here somewhere.
Right. Right at Culver Studios. They built like an entire sewer indoors. And, you know, here's the weird thing that people don't know about movies or TV, or maybe they do, but they will not shoot anything that's not built. Meaning, if they just have a 10-second shot in an elevator and you think, So just go to some medical building and shoot the elevator door closing? No, they build the whole thing.
Why?
They have to light it. They have to get the camera the right way. I don't know what it is, but even shots where like guys were climbing out of the manhole, the whole thing had to be built. You know, the street and the manhole and the whole. Remember that?
Crazy, yeah.
I mean,
they built a whole underground sewer thing that was amazing in one of these like airplane hangars.
Yeah, if anybody ever sees that movie, every single sewer shot, from guys sliding down things to guys running into big basins to the whole thing to opening the manhole and jumping in, all done indoors. And bizarre. But anyway, I was a stand-in for one of the bad guys, and we didn't get to fraternize with the celebrities too much. We were like the doofus loser stand-in guys. But I remember Everlast was in this movie, and so far you're the only guy from the cast I've spoken to, but I'm going to track them down like that movie Seven Little Indians and tell them all I stood in for them. All right, well, here's something. Oh, by the way, Everlast is going to be at the Whiskey tomorrow night. And we're going to be across the street. Drew, why don't we get a plug in here?
All right, go ahead.
All right, we're doing a book signing for Drew and my book tomorrow night. Book Soup?
7 o'clock.
And that's somewhere around the Whiskey, isn't it, on Sunset?
Like a couple blocks up.
Yeah, so swing by, get a book, and then go to the concert, and then throw it at Eric.
And y'all got to come to the show, man.
Well, we got to come do this
Dr.
show.
Drew out at the show, you know what I'm saying, at a concert.
Yeah, juice him up, and he goes, baby. Oh, yeah. All right, we'll hear something off Whitey Ford Sings the Blues. That's Everlast's latest CD. We'll take a call or two first, and then we'll get to that. Cynthia.
Hi.
Hey, you're 16. What's going on?
Well, it's been about a month, and I'm just recently, for this past month, I've been addicted to heroin. And both my parents don't know, and I don't know what to do.
How do you do it?
First I was snorting it, then I started shooting it, and I stopped shooting it.
So what are you doing now?
I'm snorting it.
Are you back snorting it?
Yeah.
What's the difference between snorting it and shooting it?
In terms of the disease?
No, I'm just asking Cynthia. In terms of the sensation.
First it was the rush, then it was getting a smaller amount to take your stick off.
It doesn't make much difference, Adam.
It doesn't. Whether you put it in a syringe and put it in your arm, or whether you suck it up.
More euphoria in the needle, but
is it longer?
The high?
Yeah.
Not really.
Maybe short.
How long does the high last if you snort it?
Well, it depends. It depends if it's good or bad. Like usually it lasts until you go to sleep.
Okay, but if you did it at 10 in the morning, then it could last for 17 hours or something?
No, it probably lasts till around maybe 8 at night.
So it's long. I mean, it's all day.
It's a long high.
And you just do one line?
No, I do about two $10 bags a day.
Uh-huh. And you'll be high all day?
Yeah, pretty much.
And does anyone notice?
No, a few of my friends know. My mom asked me, but she doesn't know.
Hey, Drew, I don't want to sound real naive here, but, you know, all my friends are all Coke, pot, and booze, and I could tell when they were on all of those, or they could tell when I was on any of those. But no one really did heroin, and I don't know how to tell if someone's high on heroin or not.
You can't. Just the pupillary response is about all you can tell.
That's it.
That's it? Otherwise?
Or if you catch them nodding.
Early on, if they're doing big doses or early on, they will nod a little bit. But sometimes they just...
After that, they just get sort of functional with it?
Mm-hmm.
So what should Cynthia do?
Cynthia? This won't stop without treatment. It will not stop. And I have yet to deal with an addict, a snorting addict that doesn't go back to the needle, or at least revert to the needle in some way. And that's a life-threatening condition, okay? Your probability of living to see 30 is diminished.
What's so dangerous about the needle? Is it the needle?
It's the injection, right? Injecting things into your system.
Like
Stuff bacteria, stuff gets caught in your lungs, infectious disease.
What about the thing with the air you always hear about?
Yeah,
the air bubble.
Air embolism. I've never seen that.
That's pretty much just in the movies?
Yeah.
Where someone gets a little bubble of air.
A little bubble wouldn't do a damn thing.
Really?
Not a damn thing.
Have to inject like a whole turkey baster full of air into you?
Basically, yes.
Oh, I'm going to sue everyone on TV. I grew up my whole life, watching Emergency, where they squirt this. They always squirt the syringe and kind of bleed it a little bit before they poke it up in the air and pop the cork off it, and then they squirt it a little before they put it in you. And it was always a big deal. If they don't get all the air out of that syringe, you'll die immediately. It'll go right to your heart. It'll explode.
No.
I thought the same thing.
Nope.
I mean, if I could say one thing, the first thing you brought up was like your parents and that they don't know. So, I don't know. I mean, you need to not stop doing it, you know. Death ain't something you should invite, you know. Trust me, I know about that. And if you could talk to your parents, you know, I mean, you know, I can't see anybody's parents really flipping out if they came to them with this kind of a problem. You know what I'm saying?
They would flip out, but they love you, and they will come to your aid, believe me.
That's what I mean. I mean, of course they're going to get upset, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's life right there. That's your life force is your family. And that's you brought them up so early that I just had to believe you want to tell them, and that's really what you were asking is how do I go about doing this?
Unfortunately, people that turn to heroin usually do so because they have a lot of negative feelings they're carrying around with them, and God knows what the parents have done to her in the past.
Well, especially by 16.
But be that as it may, she needs to tell her family. She needs to get help. It is not going to stop without intensive treatment. Heroin is the most severe form of addiction. It's a high relapse rate, very difficult to stay abstinent, requires a lot of work over a long period of time, and it is a deadly disease.
But isn't it easier if you get to it earlier? I mean, what if you get 10 years under your belt?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, isn't that just a way of life at that point?
Yeah, well, plus your brain actually changes in response to these drugs. You lose the capacity. You don't develop the normal coping strategies that someone would go through as they get older.
Right.
And to some extent, you lose that biological potential to some extent.
Jenna.
Yeah?
You're 23.
Yes.
You're on with Everlast.
Hi.
Hey.
I was wondering if you could tell me, is anal sex harmful to yourself? Am I making sense?
Yeah. I mean, can you get injured doing it?
No, is it bad for you?
How big is the guy?
Normal.
Okay.
Is that important?
Well, let's do some math here, Drew. All right, see this one finger? You could see that going in your ass, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one?
All right.
On my hand?
No thanks, but
okay. Now, what if I just did this?
Yeah.
Made the fist.
Okay.
You wouldn't see that in your ass, would you?
No.
All right, now let me show you the watch. You picturing that? Get Cameron Swayze in here to do a testimonial on the Timex. And by the way, remember I was yelling at you about Cameron Swayze and Timex and strapping the watch to the front of that rubber raft? Saw that commercial that night on Nick at Night. Weird flashback thing. John Cameron Swayze for Timex. All right, so...
Can I tell you what I mean?
Yeah,
Jenna?
go ahead.
Well, like if he ejaculates and stuff, afterwards, I get like an upset stomach. You know what I mean?
Well, that's more the result of you having been viscerally assaulted, shall we say, or violated.
Definitely.
And understand that a male ejaculating into you is the highest risk behavior for contracting any sexually transmitted disease.
Well, let me ask you this, Drew. They have medicines that are suppositories.
Yes.
Because
it's so absorptive down there.
Yes,
you
and
absorb everything.
You can take alcohol
and
put it in your ass and get drunk, right?
Yes.
So if somebody put a tumbler of semen in your ass, wouldn't you absorb all the contents of that?
All that bacteria, it's whatever's in there, virus, everything.
But wouldn't it affect you? Like, here's what I'm asking.
No.
Let's just put it this way. If I put a hose in my ass,
yeah,
and Everlast dumped a bottle of scotch into the funnel, like we did a beer bong, behind beer bong. Oh, my God.
Beer bong behind.
You know the gays have tried this before, by the way. But they probably use like a blush wine, like a White Zinfandel or something. But they hold, I got a funnel, and Eric dumps an entire thing of scotch in this thing. My stomach, it'll get to my stomach, right? I mean, I'll absorb it.
Yeah, but that's alcohol, though. I mean, there's nothing really, it's like...
But I would throw up, right? It would make me sick?
If you drank enough. If you
No.
If you ingested enough.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, we got an evening plan, by the way. You may be a little late for that whiskey date tomorrow.
Put it in my head, man.
So the point is if I vomit, it meant it got into my stomach or into my bloodstream and then got into my stomach?
Into your brain, and that made you nauseous.
All right, but if you were... Oh, okay. If you're allergic to semen, couldn't it make the same argument?
No.
All right, Jenna. Hey, I tried.
But be careful, please.
Okay, but so as long as he doesn't like have a disease, you're fine though.
Well, I mean, you can damage the area, you can tear, you can cause bleeding, again, infection, hemorrhoids.
Who's the guy?
My boyfriend. He
what?
I mean, generally, that's not what the area is meant for. So
he what, Jenna?
I was just going to say he likes both. You know?
What do you like?
Well, I don't particularly like it, but...
Why
don't do it. Stop doing it.
But if it makes him happy...
Jenna, please. You're in a relationship to make yourself
Where
happy.
were these girls when I was in high school?
Women, please stop that impulse to make men happy. It's the most retarded impulse you have. Trust your instincts and assert your needs.
It's more like I conquered it issue anyways. That's really all it is.
How many times I said that, Drew?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, trust me.
So have you never done it?
It's his most primitive impulse.
Honestly, that's not my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? I think the woman was given much finer parts to play with.
Yeah.
You know, I mean...
Oh, your mic's out.
Oh, everyone's got an asshole. You know, my grandpa's got an asshole. You know what I'm saying? You go after the vagina and the breast. But Jenna...
And if that's all her boyfriend is really concerned with, he's got issues.
Yes.
It is,
you know what I'm saying?
It is definitely a power play because, as I've said on this show before, when you are in somebody's ass, the answer to every question you ask them is yes. You are driving. Do you know what I'm saying?
Am I bugging or they're like sound effects?
That was your heart valve.
I'm thinking I'm having a flashback here or something, man.
You know who's in charge when you're banging someone from behind. And if you're doing that to somebody, you're doing everything to somebody. It is a control thing.
But that somebody is completely objectified. They don't give an ass about that person.
Right.
And making that person happy is the last impulse you should follow.
All right. Drew will not rest until every woman says no. Paul?
Hello?
Hey, you're 14.
Hey.
Sorry about that last conversation, partner.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. I'd like to say I love Loveline. I love the show.
Thanks.
I have a question about a week ago. I had a wet dream, and I looked at my underwear, and it looked like somebody, loogied in my underwear.
No, that was God.
That's what semen looks like.
But, no, it was, green. It wasn't like what the usual color is.
Was it yellow? Or red?
No, it was green.
Green.
And it's usually, white, right?
Well, how much have you produced it on your own?
Yeah.
You have?
Ask him again.
Have you masturbated before?
Yeah.
You have?
Uh-huh.
How many times?
A couple.
Yeah. When did you start?
Last year.
Wow. Were you 13?
Yeah.
Bastard. I didn't start till I was 16.
Why not?
I was stupid. We were poor.
Scared Eric. Wait a minute.
We were so poor I couldn't whack off. We couldn't afford porn or towelettes.
Eric was startled at him. He just recoiled. Oh, my God.
I know. 16. I swear to God, I hope I live an extra 3 years, and I spend that entire time masturbating.
Well, if you live 3 years, why should those years be different than any of the other ones?
That's a very good point, Drew. All right, so, Drew, do you think this is some kind of infection or something?
If it continues, Paul, obviously get it looked into. But a single episode, I can't say that it's anything with absent any other symptoms.
Did you eat a lot of mint chocolate chip ice cream?
No, and sometimes even blood will mix in there, make it look kind of an orangey color. And bleeding once in a while is actually not that abnormal. Not abnormal at all in some cases, but should be looked into always.
All right, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to hear something off of Everlast's new CD. The CD's called Whitey Ford Sings the Blues, and this one is called What It's Like. That is What It's Like off of Whitey Ford Sings the Blues. Everlast is here. You can find him and his guitar, and who else?
My whole band. We got a whole live band, 6 members, lap steel guitar, stand-up bass, DJ, drummer, keyboards. The White Folks, that's the name of the band.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Someone's going to sue you for that name, though.
You have 5 seconds.
Loveline with Adam Carolla.
All righty.
Down.
What's that?
That's why I had it down, so it wouldn't come up.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's too low when it's down.
Up.
Now,
well,
don't lean back.
Thank God we have a couple days off these days. But, so we're not with each other continuously.
All right, just be quiet. Cypress Hill is here tonight.
Yes,
be real, Bobo.
Yes.
And Gloss are all here. Gloss is not from... Gloss, what do you do?
What do you do?
I work in movie production.
No, you're just hanging with Cypress Hill.
Oh, that's right. You know how we do it.
All right. You probably know more about the band than they do anyway.
But of course.
Drew, you ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Sarah.
Yes.
You're 18.
Yes.
What's going on?
I'm engaged to a guy who's in the military, so right now he's kind of far away.
Where is he?
In San Diego.
And where are you?
I'm in Middle California. I really don't want to give my whereabouts because I think his sister might be listening.
How do you guys know each other?
Huh?
How do you guys know each other?
We met at a billiards.
And why does his family hate you?
I don't know.
You said there was something religious and ethnic and all kinds of stuff.
Well, I am the first Hispanic that he's brought home, but I'm not full Hispanic.
What is he?
He's pure white.
Whatever that is.
Huh?
Whatever that is.
Yeah, mostly Irish.
Okay.
But thing is, what's funny is I have Irish in me, too.
All right.
I'm behind 57, we'll just put it that way.
All right.
Religious beliefs is I'm in between Catholic and Christian, and they they only believe in the First Testament.
That makes them what?
I don't know. They're not Jewish or Mormon, I know that.
Is the First Testament the Old Testament? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, the Old Testament.
Yeah, but between Catholic and Christian, I mean, that's not much, is it?
I don't know.
There.
But they're just, another thing is they're very controlling over him.
You both take Christmas off, right?
He doesn't believe in Christmas.
How long have you guys known each other?
Since February.
And why the rush to marriage?
Because, well, I'm not really in the rush anymore.
Good.
Why doesn't he believe in Christmas? He doesn't believe in Santa? Or
He's Jewish.
Maybe he's a cheap
He says it's paganistic.
It's paganistic.
Yes, and I said, no, it's commercial.
Jehovah's Witnesses?
He's in the military, though, right?
A reason he
What
went
about
in.
killing foreigners?
He
Isn't
sounds
there-
screwed up.
Maybe maybe his parents are religious fanatics.
No. No, very not.
Not yours, his.
No.
No?
No?
No.
All right,
Because
so-
I was sitting there quoting the Bible, and she
He's
Huh?
Who's quoting the Bible?
I was.
You were?
Yes.
Why
Stuff
were you-
from because she was sitting there saying stuff, and I was like, oh, sorry, Jesus Christ did not believe in that, or, this was in Genesis.
Oh, there's nothing worse than those hypothetical arguments over Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Where they go, Jesus Christ said an eye for an eye. Jesus said turn the other cheek. Jesus, when he was talking to Ham, and it's like, would you everyone just shut up for a second? Christ is spinning around on his cross hearing this kind of talk. I was going to say in his grave, but I guess he's not really in his grave. Wherever Christ is, he's spinning around listening to all you idiots argue over him. Could you imagine listening to people? What if it was Drew instead of Christ? Drew says to turn the other cheek.
That is my hell. If I go to hell, that's what's going to happen. People are going to misquote me every turn.
Drew said that a little Coke was good for you.
I read it. I was in New York Times Magazine today, and I was quoted as saying something that I didn't say, of course. I'm in pain. My breasts hurt. I said that. They could have quoted that, but that's not what showed up in the New York Times.
All right, so, Sarah, the guy's in the military. His parents are a little bit suspect. He's thumping the Bible a little too hard. You're 18. It just doesn't sound like a match made in heaven, pardon the pun.
Don't tell me that.
You guys may want to give it a little while before you think about tying the knot.
And I am, but it's just his family has got so much control, and that's what I'm having. That's where there's a problem.
Control over who?
How
you?
does this guy?
They have control over him.
How
He's
does
23.
Over him? How old is he?
23.
And how old are you?
I'm 18.
Oh.
Are you even 18?
Me, yes. I'm full-fledged 18.
All right. Card carrying 18.
Full-fledged.
Yeah.
You think maybe it's because they think you're too young for him or something?
No, it's because they didn't pick me out for him.
Aha. All right, get out. This is a mess. You should be married at 18. It's too
The
young.
family's a mess. He's a mess. Why don't you get out of there
You
and
don't
just
wanna
find
be a
yourself a
mess.
nice guy?
You got too much ahead of you. You don't
I mean,
even know it.
and why, by the way, we talk to people all night long. They go, he beats me. He criticizes me. He put his foot in my cat's ass the other day. Well, why don't you dump him? I can't. I love him. How do people get to love people that are such a-holes?
That's what I want to know.
You know what's funny is when they do move on to the other guy. Let's say they meet somebody else somewhere down the line. They treat the other guy real funny, and they don't get used to another guy like giving them love and everything. They're used to that abusive.
That's right. And they seek
Holding
that out.
on to the last one.
That's what their dads did to them, and then they go out and seek that out in the first place. And I was reading something this weekend. We're trying to figure out why people get stuck in these acting out mechanisms where they have to find the abusive guys.
Right.
And this theory was suggesting that this is all a way of trying to control death and resurrection. That there's a very primitive instinct that's way beyond pleasure and pain. It's about actually trying to control feelings of total annihilation.
What's the resurrection part?
The having sex with the person.
You sure didn't say death in his erection?
It's the same idea. Well, his erection.
Or maybe the guy's name was Red.
His erection is what creates the resurrection. Is having that and controlling that, and then of course the abuse comes in again. And
so it makes you feel like it's normal. That's
well, what Drew's referring to is we talk to people night after night. Their dad beat the crap out of them their whole life, and then they marry a guy who beats the crap out of them. Why do they?
They just follow that pattern exactly.
Yeah, but why? What good is that? You know what I mean? You know firsthand what it's like.
I'll tell you what. I heard this one time from somebody. They said their father was talking to him, and they always had a rocky relationship. And the father finally the son told the father. He says, "Well, I'm your youngest son. Why did you always treat me, worse than all the others? I never did anything." And he says, "Well, I come from a tough love background. Nobody ever showed me love, and this is how I was."
By the way, tough love is not showing love.
No, exactly. But he was saying this is the way he learned, so he didn't really know what real love was.
Right, isn't that how to do it? That's right.
Yeah, he couldn't express it correctly.
We want to have all the parents incarcerated.
Yeah,
that creates these people.
I'm actually just going to start a big island for him. Who am I going to?
What's it going to be called?
Well,
we'd touch on. You had somebody that you were going to pick.
I was going to take all the kids and bring them on to Big Island and have Bill Cosby and Felicia Rashad be like their parents.
Yeah, they'll straighten
you said
them
you want
out,
to touch
right?
on Ali's parents, maybe?
No. Somebody as John Tesh. John Tesh was going to be the dad of the other kids.
Oh, you're good. You're trying to hurt him, Adam. You're really trying to hurt him.
You ain't nothing nice.
All right, Drew, did you pick a call? What are you thinking about over there? Oh, I punched it?
What are you thinking about?
All right. Drew, you know my history.
I do.
Phil.
Yeah.
You're 23.
Yeah, right on, dude. A buddy of mine told me that you can get Alzheimer's smoked out of aluminum cans, like out of a beer can or something like that. And I've been doing it since about 11 years, 12 years old. I was wondering if that's any, fact or not.
Yeah, what about people think that, or they had linked Alzheimer's disease with contact with aluminum products?
That's right. And so that's where this theory came from. I don't really believe that there's any reality to this.
Well, people have been drinking out of aluminum cans and eating out of aluminum foil for 40 years.
People with end-stage kidney disease get fantastically elevated blood levels of aluminum, and they don't get Alzheimer's any quicker than anybody else. However...
But I just figured smoking out of the can, like...
No. However, there are other brain-damaging issues that you may be coming in contact with. So if you were to develop some brain dysfunction, it would not be from the aluminum can.
Hey, what about, Phil?
It would be from the drugs you're smoking.
What kind of cans do you go with usually?
Well, usually I always have glass, but, glass breaks, but I've always had, High Life, beer cans, stuff like that.
So you take, a Miller can, you put a dent in it, right?
Yeah, good Budweiser.
Can I interject here?
Right.
Yeah, but
can I interject right
Yeah.
Go to a head shop and buy a pipe, for crying out loud.
Oh, dude, I've had plenty of glass. It's just, you can't smoke around hillbillies. They break them.
And let me point something else out here. Just how amazing the human mind is. The call is, can I get Alzheimer's from aluminum in the can? No, absolutely not. Oh, good.
Right.
But you certainly might get it from the damaging effects of the chemicals. Oh, all right. Yeah, so anyway, how do I smoke this stuff? I mean, it is completely, as long as I'm not getting it from the aluminum, I don't care. As long as if I'm going to get damage from the drugs, it's worth it.
That is
insane.
true.
Well, the great thing about guys who smoke a lot of weed is they have a high tolerance for repetition. Like, for instance, my buddy had a pipe that was round, and it wouldn't sit up, meaning you'd have to lean it against something. If it was like a bicycle with no kickstand, it would just fall over because it was a round tube. So every time we smoked out of it, he had to lean it against something. And every time I saw the guy, the thing was falling over, and whatever pot was in it was on fire and on the carpet or wherever it had fallen off to. The guy would never break down and get a pipe. And the bongs, I don't know why they do this with bongs, but bongs are always about inch and a half, 2 inches wide, and they're about 40 stories high, and they got a base on them the size of a coaster. And they hold 40 gallons now, and they go toppling over every time. Someone's got to make a bong with, a beanbag chair on the base of it.
Something like that.
That you could never, like a Weeble, that you could never, ever tip over.
They exist.
Oh, they do?
I've seen them. They're getting smart now.
I got to get by the head shop.
Yeah.
Graphics.
You know what worries me, Drew? On these cans, you're smoking the paint or whatever kind of chemical they use to put the insignia or the coloring on the side of the can.
I never liked that method.
I don't know.
Never.
I mean, we certainly see lots of problems with people smoking certain chemicals, but we don't tend to see any long-term effects of that.
Yeah, but that couldn't have been around. People couldn't have been doing this for more than 15 years.
That's the point.
You don't know what the hell that's going to happen 20 years from now.
Absolutely.
The phone number for Loveline is 1-800-LOVE-1.
Hey, it's the best of Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That's Dr. Drew. You're you. Mm-hmm. All right, Drew.
Yeah.
Let's trudge on. What do we got coming up next?
Coming up next is the Goo Goo Dolls.
This is Jennifer's first tour with us. So she's looking forward to
Drew and I go out and do this college lecture thing once in a while, and if we do more than 2 or 3 in a row, we
have to take a month off.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I mean, I never really appreciated it until we went out on the road for just 3 or 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like we're packed into a van or anything. We're taking planes and getting a limo and stay at a decent hotel and all that stuff.
It still takes it out of you.
Still takes it out of you.
Still takes it out of you, you know?
I couldn't imagine. And a lot of the bands we have in here, I mean, 2 years straight.
Yeah, that's what we did last time. 2 years straight. 2 years straight. But you know what? You get used to it. You get like a cockroach. You know? It's like you go out and you tour a little bit, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and you just sort of like build up an immunity to it.
But do you think if you were making the schedule, wouldn't you spread it out a little more?
Yeah, 1 show a week.
Right.
Yeah, 1 show a week at my house.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody comes to
We
me.
would just do pay-per-view, and we would sing the tracks.
Right. And, after 9, because Seinfeld's on.
Yeah.
And then, you'll play for 15 minutes, and you take a 4-hour break.
Right. You know what? It was
Do
good,
one
though.
encore.
It was good that we had the tour a lot, because it made me realize that you have to take better care of yourself. Because like all that stuff about, shooting the heroin and drinking the Jack Daniels all night, I think most of that's mythology, though, because
I don't know how people, and Lord knows many a band and many a comic and many a person who's toured has done this, how you can just get loaded every night and get high every day. I mean, how you can grind on your body that way and keep the grind up of the tour. I mean, I just couldn't imagine.
Some people are just blessed with a healthy constitution.
Right.
And some people are blessed with a healthy publicist as well.
Yeah, to help them out.
Who may trump up, Who may trump up the 2-3 times
I have
a
a
week.
medical question. I have a medical question for you. We were just in Australia. I got these. They were effervescent vitamins called Baracus, and for some reason they won't sell them here. But it's like a big heap of B vitamins.
I think you can get them with prescription here.
Yeah? But they were in my hotel room. They're hangover medicine. They use them.
Yeah,
there.
well,
they were in the mini bar.
Well,
yeah, they were in the mini bar.
Yeah, theoretically, you're not acutely depleted in B vitamins if you've been drinking a lot. I mean, B vitamins get depleted, but it takes a while to do
But
that.
it's like speed, though. It felt like I got a rush from it when I took it.
Just,
then I don't know what's
just a pill? I mean, just a couple of pills?
It was like a big cherry, Alka-Seltzer, and you put it in the thing, and then you drink it down, and then
it gives you this little boost, and you jump around for 20 minutes.
Do you think it was, B vitamin and caffeine or something like that?
Yeah. Right, there's something in there.
But it was made by a pharmaceutical company.
Yeah, there's something like that is available here, but it's B vitamin. I don't know nothing else.
Wasn't there a thing where people were snorting B vitamins or injecting it or something like that a few years ago, and that was all the rage?
It sounds vaguely
Or am I
familiar.
thinking of like bee pollen?
Bee pollen people took a lot
Bee
of.
pollen, people were taking, was it bee pollen? They say it was curing, they were stinging themselves with bees, and they were saying it was curing their cancer.
Right,
and
all kinds of weird. Listen, I've seen, in the course of I've been in practice, I've been training plus practice 15 years, and I have seen so many bizarre things come and go, and each one is the cure, the thing, the answer. When are people going to grow up? I don't understand it.
Yeah, and learn that NyQuil's really the only thing that works.
The only cure-all remedy to everything.
It's true. People, you get all this, this holistic crap, and take this and rub the magnet there, but you know what? A couple shots of NyQuil, that does it.
The one time I took NyQuil, I was wired all night.
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can do that too.
Yeah, when you take too much, right? I'm a pro with
I only took it once. I stayed upstairs at the ceiling all night, so I never took it.
Isn't there a reaction where sometimes people go 180 degrees?
Yes.
Well, that happened to me on NyQuil. I stay away from that stuff.
These antihistamines and things especially.
It's sort of like the way they handle kids with attention deficit disorders, they give them speed.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
What's
weird
the logic
to me.
behind that, though? Why does that work?
Nobody knows. At least
But it
that's
just-
the theory, but it works.
Yeah, it's like putting out an oil well fire by blowing it up.
Did you
or
see that
something.
movie? The Hellfighters with John Wayne.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
One of the greatest movies ever.
Yeah, John Wayne played Red Adair, I think. The famous Texas oil well.
Yeah.
Fire.
And they were right in the middle of
guy.
a battle zone, and the planes came in and blew up the wells, and they had to blow them
Oh,
up.
it's awesome. Hellfighters.
Amazing movie.
It must have been like early 70s, late 60s, something like that. John?
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Good. You're 17. You're on the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Goo Goo Dolls how they got that gig with that movie City Angels. And what's the name of the song, too? I forgot it, man, but it's just been in my head for like 2 weeks straight now.
Oh, cool. That's well, the subliminal messages are working. That stuff does work. I don't. The guy that made the movie called my manager and asked if he heard the song name, which was another ballad that got big, and they heard it and he said, you know, this guy writes these sappy songs like this, and I'm making this movie, so. Do you think maybe he could write one for it?
So the song didn't exist before. It was commissioned, basically.
Yeah. They said, you know, write a song for this movie.
Yeah, you guys put Titanic to shame, man. That one
thanks,
song,
man.
it was great.
And how much...
I don't got the Celine Dion clout, though, you know? I can't afford 12 producers.
How many... how much do you know about the movie going into writing the song?
Well, I knew it was a remake of Wings of Desire, so I was a little bit iffy about doing it because that was a really great movie. But then they flew me out here and they took me to a little screening room and showed me the movie without the music in it, and I kind of watched the story and then just grabbed onto it. And
so the movie was complete.
Oh yeah, it was mostly complete, I think. And then and I went back to my hotel and wrote the song.
Wouldn't it be cool if you guys could do the soundtrack for Hellfighters 2?
Yeah, Hellfighters 2. The Persian Gulf.
Yes.
It'd be like, yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is Red Adair. Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would rock.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. The phone number's 1-800.
Well, I got to tell you, I really feel good about that show.
Yeah.
Even though I'm probably drunk wherever I am.
Well, that's why you feel good.
I really delivered.
It was harmless.
Yeah, I really delivered the goods tonight. But I want to thank the fabulous Sherry for doing a fine hypothetical job screening the phones tonight, the Angular One producer Ann, and of course, Engineer Mike. Without him, none of this would be possible, and I mean nothing. I'm not just talking about radio. All right, so until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
This has been Loveline. The views expressed on Loveline are not necessarily those of the staff, the management, or the sponsors of this radio station.
And are probably not the views of Westwood One Entertainment. Loveline is produced by Ann Wilkins Ingle.
Now, please listen to this station longer.